And I think one of the things you've both been doing this term and you found quite eye-opening was operational excellence. What is operational excellence and how is it making a difference?
So operational excellence has been around for quite a long time. We sort of picture a Japanese car manufacturer using lean systems and operational excellence to really quality assure what's coming out. What comes out is right first time. And it's done in the smoothest, least friction, least waste way possible. And ISBL have translated that manufacturing ethos, as it were, into something that's suitable for education because it's a similar sort of approach. If you take away the waste and the friction and the difficulties and some of just the time spent doing stuff that doesn't need to be done or isn't important, you will inevitably become more efficient. And then the important and inevitable step on that is that you start to improve pupil outcomes. So operational excellence starts with the understanding that we are all there to improve pupil outcomes. And if you go in with a mindset to eliminate waste and to make processes smoother and more efficient, then everything starts to move more smoothly and it frees up time. Again, we go back to those things that we would like to be doing. If we weren't rushing around doing stuff that really creates. And one of the, if I may give an example, which is often given, is if you've got a finance team who are receiving orders from numerous budget holders, some are on paper, some are on email, some have just been stopped in the corridor. And then inevitably the finance officers have got to go to work out what it was the budget holder wanted and which code it should go to and then order it. And the whole thing really, really slows up. If you can make a system which everybody follows, which is straightforward, easy to input, goods received come really quickly, you're then freeing up 2-3 people's time to be doing other things. I mean, they might then be going on to do other finance things, but they're not wasting their time on stuff that is relatively easy to be improved.
And in that example, Emma, there's also the opportunity for so many errors to happen, aren't there? You know, that you forgot that when someone spoke to you in the corridor that they wanted 10 glue sticks. You didn't remember till 2 days later, but they actually wanted the glue sticks by the following Monday. So you've then created a bigger issue. So I think it's that process mapping and then identifying where there are weaknesses and trying to make it better. And yes, I know that there will be some people that just like saying that I'm walking from here to there and I saw you and I want those glue sticks. So I'm going to ask you there and then. But we wouldn't go into a classroom or a staff room and say, we need you to do X, Y, and Z whilst you're in the middle of doing another piece of work. So I think that process mapping is then an opportunity to then ask the team because they're experiencing what the problems are. And it's not just the finance team, it might be from the teacher's point of view. Actually, it's not very clear how you procure things within a school from a teacher's point of view, especially from a recently qualified teacher's point of view. You know, how do they go about ordering stuff? I just think it enables, as well as the process to be better, but just for people to have a better experience of school. And I think it's also an opportunity to respond to audit reports, internal scrutiny reports, and things like that. It's like, how are we going to solve that problem? Okay, we could actually apply some OPEX tools to try and resolve that problem that's been identified in audit. And then this is how we're going to make those changes within our school.
The thing I particularly like about PECs is that you can start really, really small. You don't have to think, right, I'm going to change the world overnight. The tiniest thing that an individual does will have an impact. And there's that saying, I saw recently, if you think you're too small to have an impact, try going to bed with a mosquito. The smallest thing you can do will then start to spread out. And as Helen said, it needs to be something that your whole setting becomes involved with. But starting out with the small things and saying, this is operational excellence. It might feel like a small thing to you, but this is what it looks like. How do we continue on with this? And if everybody started doing a little bit, all of a sudden it would be game changing for the whole sector, I'm sure. There is a lot of potential in operational excellence, and there is now training which you can do. You know, you can start small and just do one day, of training, or you can go further like I did and done the strategic. And Helen, I know, is doing the same thing, because we want to share the mindset and the framework with other school business leaders.